Alright, what is going on everybody? Got Shadow here. And today, I know you will come in full modern to my channel, but today we're playing a little bit of standard. And we're playing another take on control or mid-range in standard, the same thing that we usually do in modern. But we're going with Esper in standard today. So the reason I'm playing standard right now, or well, it's basically the second time I'm ever playing standard. Um, is that I really like some of the cards in standard, and I watched the Pro Tour during the weekend, at least partially, and it was dominated by red. And I thought, although these decks are really good, they also seem to be very exploitable, as is almost every meta if you do have the right tools to your disposal. And I do think that Esper Colors actually does have really good tools to beat um to beat these mono red decks. You have Fatal Push, which is really good against like the smaller creatures. um you do have Exile effect for Hazoret the Fervent. Man, I'm not used to all the standard cards. You have card advantage engines with August, Bloodfast, and Search for Scanta. And you also, Angel of Sanctions gets pumped by Lyra, and it also is a sweet 2-for-1 that most red decks cannot get rid of at all. And so yeah, I thought, let's give it a try. We put in sensors instead of disallows into the main board because we wanted to get a little bit lower to the ground in order to find these hyper aggressive decks. I need something for my mouse pad though. Alright. And they, usually try to curve out, and they are expecting disallow. And I do not like, as you know from my other decks, I don't like to play stuff that people are expecting. Like that makes it just so much easier for them to play around whatever you're doing, and that's always a disadvantage in it by itself already. I also cut a little bit, like in comparison to other decks, I cut a little bit on the 4-drop slot because I think that too often you find yourself with 2 or 3 Glimmer of Genius in hand and you're just getting overrun. Yeah. Then to the sideboard, mainly additional copies of Duress and Negate in order to fight the Control Mirror. And then, of course, Disallow to switch it up a little bit, like in Control Mirrors. Sensor's most likely not going to be a good card, and then Syncopate requires us to tap out a lot. Hostage Taker and Fumigate just as answers again to like mono red decks where you get a good 2-for-1 and Fumigate in case we run into like Steel Stompy or something. Alright, so let's see. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see if this is gonna work out. We're gonna jump into a competitive league, no matter what here. And yeah, this was my last try here with Esper. I won the first 2 rounds and then lost the following 3. But I was also like, it was very early in the morning or very late at night, one could also say. And yeah, let's see. So this is my second round ever in standard. And usually I'm not really interested in standard just because the card pool is so restrictive. And you don't have that much, opportunity and possibilities to really carve out your own style of deck and, your own niche in the meta. But maybe today is the time. And we're also playing a lot of like the reason I'm playing this is basically History of Benalia. I love the artwork of the card. I love like how the card is structured. And if there were, I hope that they keep on going making sagas because these sagas are just amazing. I like how they play out. I like the artworks. that are really different to, you know, not only Magic in particular, but Magic already has some of the best artworks in any TCG, but especially in comparison to other TCGs. It's like amazing artwork. It's really old school, really, really nice. Gives you like a feeling of church, science, you know, all the older types of, whoops. All right, let's see. So as I said, it's not entirely clear yet if we're really going into the right direction here. This is definitely not a keep. Oh yeah, also we've cut down a little bit. Oh man, this is also not a great hand, but maybe I'm just too used to modern. All right, it looks like we're somewhat facing the control mirror here, and that might already mean that we're going to that's amazing, you know, you play one tap land and then all the others are just coming in untapped. Yeah, we're cut a little bit on the mana base in order as well to go low to the ground and, you know, be able to do some stuff. Sadly. So opponent already with too many lands in hand. Maybe we should have just tried to play Search for Benalia, because I think they do play Search for Scanter, right? Okay, a lot of white, not so much blue, which is fortunate for us. Not the syncopate. So I guess when if I'm tapping out here, he's just gonna untap and go for Teferi. Therefore, I'm not gonna do that. We do have a couple of counter spells. Cast out here also, it would usually be a good card, so I'm actually quite happy that he gets rid of it. So now he's looking for lands. And found one. Alright. Yeah, we need one more mana, and I don't want to waste the Field of Ruin yet. Yeah. So first. So we could censor here, and I'm quite certain that he wants to tap for Teferi. Like, this is just a decoy for Teferi here. So we're gonna censor or syncopate. The thing is, if we syncopate, then he plays another land, taps out 5. I think we're just gonna censor here. You should also have, yeah, a lot of dead cards in hand, and doesn't find a land drop here. As neither though. He cycled 2 cast outs. I'm still not willing to risk it. I might just go end of turn, Field of Ruin, but that he could disallow that. Therefore, maybe that's not the best use. Come on. finally. So he's also running hot. Too many lands. He might be playing, well, might he? No, he's probably just playing no win condition. Alright, so I think that I'm just gonna get rid of Cast Down here. That's probably the worst card in our deck right now. Okay, found an island. Let's see. Just gonna play the Torrential Gilhug here. And then try to resolve History of Benalia on our turn. I Will's Bloodfast is actually even more important. So what could he have? Like one one disallow. Okay. So if he goes with Teferi now, which he will do, there's almost no way that he doesn't. Oh, he's bouncing our stuff. Sure. Yeah, he's trying to protect. On the one hand, a Search for Scanta once it comes down. On the other hand, of course, a potential. He doesn't want us to redraw the butt thing. Yep. History of Benalia is really good here. I expect him to play Settle the Wreckage into our attack. I'll blink of my with kicker. 4. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna syncopate that. He has 5. What we could also do is we could Angel of Sanction our History of Benalia. That would also be quite interesting. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's let this resolve. Oh, I can only opponent controls. Well, alright, so now he's just gonna kill our Angel of Sanctions and then that's that. Alright, oh, he's just playing another Teferi. either way, yeah, sure. That wasn't. I should start reading cards before we do such a thing. I thought we could like exile our own stuff. Yeah, don't think that we can win this. Just too many dead cards. But we have a good sideboard plan. This year, Senzo might still stay. Ruska's Contempt is certainly good. Duress. All the negates. It's already 61 cards. Syncopate is not so good in the matchup, as I already said in the beginning. It's more meant to target like Scrap Heap Scroungers and the likes. So putting in 2 disallows. And probably also forsake the Worldly as an answer to, you know, a couple of things. Monkey Hawk out. Does that make sense? We're trying to win this with History of Benalia. And then we only have 3. I hope that's enough to forsake the Worldly, but we only have to get rid of 4 Teferis, right? And then they don't have a win condition anymore. Maybe though Angel of Sanction is actually better here in this kind of matchup, because he does something when he enters the battlefield and then we can embalm it, so it's basically 2 threats in one. Yeah, we do have a lot of lands, so this is fine. And then we can curve out into... I'm not yet playing the rest. Don't think there's anything I want to catch during the first turn. Okay. So Doomfall is our play during the next turn. Interesting hand. I mean, can't even play anything. He's probably gonna cycle this one, right? So taking forsake the Worldly, so he cannot do anything. And then we're gonna Doomfall him. Now I'm making sure that I actually read the cards before I play them. Like I have a... No way. Okay. Sure, but better they hit this with a negate than that they hit the Glimmer of Genius that we're about to play in their upkeep. Yeah, play patterns have to be a little bit adjusted here. I actually want to have both of these, though the Isolated Chapel probably goes to the bottom because we do have already like a lot of... I would like to have another blue card. Are we killing this? They do have a disallow, of course, that hits us. Come on, you didn't draw in counterspell. Right. Of course, white source here, and he can play Teferi. But we do have Raska's Contempt. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get rid of it before. To have their own. Cannot cycle here by the end of turn. But there's still ways off of. Okay. Teferi, yeah. Well, this is not a problem actually. Can deal with that. Yeah, putting that to the graveyard. Alright, let's see. Probably have to kill the Search for Scanta. We could also just kill the Casa in case we think Arguel's Bloodfast is stronger in this situation. I mean, it's an instant, but nah. It's still better to kill a Search. Because this way we actually have an advantage in the game. Gonna cycle this Sensor end of turn. Another one. Sure. Now this is somewhat problematic. We do have another Forsake the Worldly, and of course we also have a Gear Hulk and Angel of Sanctions as well. So we're trying to get in an Angel of Sanctions here. Could also play History of Benalia, but I think Angel of Sanctions is better. And now we're taking away the cast out. We know that they do have like two Settle the Wreckages in hand, which they of course cannot use. So we're just trying to pump out next turn a little bit of card advantage if we can. Okay, yeah, that's good. It's actually pretty good for us. So we play History of Benalia, leave out Negate and an Arguel's Blessing. Attack for 3. Bloodfast, sorry. Yeah, it's actually quite fun. I mean, of course, you know, play patterns are very different from modern, but we will adapt. I don't think that opponent knows already exactly what's going on here. So is there anything else? Like this can't exile enchantments, and we have no way of getting rid of these enchantments outside of our Forsake the Worldly. Alright, so he can seal away that one. Well, we are going to try to negate that. Sure. That's not a problem. Okay, that's pay to life. Doomfall. Three settle the wreckages and assets scatter. Basically all dead cards, which we do not care about, but so our opponent is so mainboard heavy against like all the creature decks that he cannot actually play around our other stuff. So if he flips it, we're just gonna kill the thing. We're also just gonna attack with the knight here to not run into. I mean, we could actually attack into a settle the wreckage and just disallow it, but I want to gain as much card advantage as we can. We're a little bit behind on time, gotta admit that. But our opponent has all the weird stops here. And he's of course playing 4 cast outs. We only have 2 Forsake the Worldly. So maybe for the last game we're bringing in. He's actually doing it. Sure. So he doesn't get the card that you wanted to get there off the top. We do have Glimmer of Genius for the end of turn. We also can counter the Red Dawnbringer, though that's probably not even necessary. Yeah, just have it. Want to have one of these. Yeah. All right, so we were going to bring in another Trenchant Gerhulk here. And I think like he has so many cards that don't interact with us. I think we actually have a lot of play here. Probably getting rid of one sensor in favor of that. And we do have a lot of card advantage engines as well. And we're on the draw here, which means we're gonna keep. Gonna start over with the planes. Do they have? Yeah, they do have negates, of course. But it might be worth it to just go Argyle's Blessing. Okay, search. Then we'll go Blessing. Which I think is a little stronger than his search is. Okay, invoke the Divine. That means he's catching our Forsake the Worldly here. And we're on parity. But he's down to 4 cards. Like we're a little bit up on mana. On cards, not on mana. Sadly. Yeah, I think that we are actually... We have Rescue Contempt for a potential Teferi, right? Or is that too risky? Like, we could just go for Glim of Genius here in order to not... Yeah, I think that's still correct. No, one have top. And forsake the worldly. So he just has a card that he cannot play and land in hands. We do have Glimmer of Genius, which is pretty neat. Yeah. Trying to find a counterspell here, and he found one. Sure. But now, so I think it's not worth it to Doomfall here because, you know, he just has Forsake the Worldly in hand. You can just cycle it into a land. The risk's too high, the upside too low. Yep. And we're just gonna keep up Negate and Censor for the end of turn. Need to find land, yes. Probably still not the moment to be aggressively playing Doomfall here. The good thing is that Doomfall also insulates us against... I like that he's casting, like cycling cast outs. That's really good for us. So we played another land there. Search for Skanta. So now we get rolling here. It's got just one draw turn. But there's Teferi. That little motherfucker. Yeah, we're just gonna Rescue Contempt here. That's his second Teferi, so he has only like a couple more win conditions to go alongside it. Yeah, and this is what I meant, right? Now we do have Doomfall in order to like just exile it. Which is really good. Love Doomfall in the matchup already. I can't tell you that. Memory. Hand and graveyard into the library. Nope. Do not think so, mates. But I think I want to disallow here. Alright, there's Search for Skanta again. We do have Negate up. We are going to start Angel of Sanctions next turn, despite having no obvious upside here. No, don't want to put that into the graveyard, and yes. Well, we can also just keep Skanta up and just, you know, dig for stuff. Disrupt Benalia, yeah, that's a good card. Yeah. Alright, cool. First game goes to us. So as you could see there, I built the deck in a way that we're easily able to adapt, like going from a full-blown anti-creature and anti-aggro list to like super controlly, super disruptive elements, with even like having access to Ogul's Bloodfast and Search for Skanta. I think it's really important. Really good. Was really impressed with Ogul's Bloodfast whenever I played it. Yeah, so what else? Of course, not having disallow, like our main board is not well equipped to deal with control. We just have too many dead cards. But then post board, we almost have 0 dead cards anymore, and it's maybe it's even good or feasible to play more Forsake the Worldlies. Like, I was really impressed with the card in that matchup right now. And I think there's almost no other way for other control decks to get rid of our permanents than with the likes of Seal Away, and it also catches all the artifacts, of course. So Ballesta, sure. That's a little slow, but we're on the play, so we're gonna keep. And as I said, like, I'm not even sure if this is a slow hand, because like I'm just used to modern, and having a turn 3 play as the only option in your deck always seems a little weird. Yeah, so we can cycle Irrigated Farmland here by the end of turn. I'm not yet sure if that's a thing, because if we're playing against control again, we might need the land drops, but this is something else. Tranquil Expanse. So no blue yet, so I'm just gonna cycle it. And as I said, like, I don't have a clue what we're playing against most of the time. So we're just gonna find out together. Oh, that's cool. Maybe people that are watching my stream also don't have a clue at what's going on in Gideon of the Trials. Sure. I think history actually lines up pretty well against Gideon. But I mean, we also do have Brussels Contempt, which we're going to use right now, since I don't know what other plays they do have available to them. As a green-white deck, I wouldn't think that, you know, they were able to save the Gideon there somehow, but maybe, I don't know. And this is fine, of course, like having a token trade with a creature and being left with another token after having dealt damage already is pretty nice. Yeah, Angel of Sanctions, definitely gonna syncopate that. because it gets exiled. Therefore can't be embalmed. Oh yeah, we're also main decking Doomfall, but we do have access to our Torrential Gearhulk. Torrential Gearhulk, of course, isn't great with Syncopate. Merfolk, Branchwalker, Thur, Hashep Oasis. Like, I don't even know these cards. So what does it do? Alright. Knight of Grace. Black permanent. Do we have black permanents? Let's see. Yeah, our will's Bloodfast, but don't think. Also has hexproof from black, right? Yeah, so are we playing Rusk's Contempt here? Doesn't even seem great, right? Thing has first strike though. Maybe we should just play Gearhulk. That also isn't great. Yeah, let's have him attack first. Let's have him do something. Even if he pumps it with, well, it's only sorcery, so. Oh, that's actually a good card here. Scavenger Grounds, and he's rethinking his whole turn. Ah, Johnny. Yeah, can't censor here. Just gonna tick up, reveal. Walking Ballista, Fumigate, and Forest, so he non-land permanents. Okay, so he only got one card. That's fine. Now I'm quite happy that we didn't play Torrential Gearhulk, Brusk's Contempt last turn. Because of course this way it's better. And we're gonna Doomfall him in our step to get rid of the Walking Ballista, because Walking Ballista with already 7 mana in play can be quite daunting. But we still need some, you know, stuff. Some card advantage engines. Angel of Sanctions would probably also be great. Syncopate isn't bad either. Syncopate actually allows us to keep mana up here and not Doomfall. Shit, gotta fly here. Alright, he's down to 9. He doesn't have any good attacks. We're at 24 life. Thanks to Vraska's Contempt, and of course, that's also something that we are not used to, having more than 20 life. Yeah. I think I'm going to syncopate this. He might be protecting something, of course. Like a Walking Ballista and such. But History of Benalia here, certainly too strong. Okay, it's just cycling a land. That's not really a thing. and another Knight of Grace. Okay, sure. Of course, Torrential Galehawk still lines up pretty great against all these knights here, and he has one Walking Ballista in hand, so we're taking the Walking Ballista. And then we're just forcing him to block. Oh yeah, Glimmer of Genius also a good card here. Because I think the only way we lose this is the Walking Ballista. Non-land card, yes. Oh no, wait. I think that I actually want to have the Field of Ruin up. And all of our stuff exiles opponent's things. Interesting though that after the Pro Tour, I mean with very small sample size, but people are playing no mono red, no red black aggro. At least not this far. So maybe your opponent is thinking about fumigating here. Or something like that. I don't even know if they play fumigate. But he certainly doesn't have great attacks. Can't race us. But they do pack a lot of value. The Ajanian yielding, certainly a strong one. Cost 6 though, so he has a very high land count. Man, these artworks, just beautiful. And for the first time ever in a standard match, we're up in time against our opponent. I guess these Knight of Graces are being boarded out. Let's have a look at our sideboard here. So we're definitely boarding one Fumigate. I think about the Hostage Takers. They should be pretty good in the matchup, right? And then probably bring in the Disallows and cutting a little bit on the Censors because he's playing with, so much, so many lands, so much mana. And other than that, another Knight. Sure, now we need to find a removal spell. And actually, our removal spells aren't that great. They're all black. Let's see. Let's see what we can find here. 3 Knight of Graces. All having first strike. Yeah, cast down is good because it lets him exile a creature. Oh no, Doomfall. That's not cast down. Alright, so cast down to the bottom. Angel of Sanctions, that's a good card. So I expect him to pull the trigger on Scavenger Grounds sooner than later. Yep. We also do have enough. No, we actually don't have enough mana for all of that. Knights you control, alright. Yeah, I think it's not yet. We don't find ourselves in dire need here to do that yet. I'm just gonna go kill the Hashep Oasis at the end of his turn, and then next turn go Angel of Sanctions. Okay, there's a Johnny again. Loads of it Johnnies. But we do have Syncopate up. Alright. So I think, I mean, these are not gonna attack yet because next turn they're gonna be better. And they actually cannot be blocked by stuff. And I don't think that he does have mount here. History of Benalia. Alright, let's see. He's playing a lot of non-creature spells as well. Man, I have no idea what the deck list looks like. Doomfall and History of Benalia still looks perfect. These are probably also pretty good. But the rest is just guesswork. So we're putting one Fumigate. Just in case. Probably Forsake the Worldly. Can't go wrong with that one here. Disallow. Fail push completely out. I mean, it still kills. Let's cut here a little bit. One here, one here. Fatal push is still a clean answer to Walking Ballista. And then probably, like, I want to have 2 duresses. So we're filling that up here. That also means we're getting a little bit more clunky here. Lyra seems great. If she can come down. Search for Scanta might not be the best card here. But when is it ever a dead card, right? We're on the draw. Maybe one less Syncopate, because that's actually a pretty expensive card. Alright, let's try this. Absolutely and entirely just guessing here. Yeah, looks like a keep. I hope they do play. Alright, so we actually first time we're fucked by all lands. Well, but apparently he's even more fucked by his. And him not having a land drop here for 2 turns in a row is significant in a couple of ways, because he, like, what we as of what we've seen, yeah, he's playing like insanely expensive stuff. Okay, 2 History of Benalias that probably won't be played anytime soon. Knight of Grace, we don't have a perfect answer against, but we do have a lot of stuff for this. Nissa is so far off right now. I'm actually explorers. Explorers means like if there's a land. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go after the green cards here. After the green cards, get it? Yeah, we can't choose our Field of Ruin yet, which is a little unfortunate because we cannot get double white. And he might just give up, but he doesn't. White Souls would be great. That is also pretty good. I should have tapped differently in order to have a counterspell up. On the other hand, though, we're just gonna draw here. There's a land. See opponent, you found a land. That's just great. That's just great. Tap land though. Alright, there's a white source for us as well, so we can go History of Benalia here. Keep this low up. Counter the Branch Walker. And then apply some pressure. And he's certainly gonna play the Branch Walker. Which of course leaves us a little bit open to the Knight. But it's still worth it, right? I think it's still. Although no. Let's have a map of land, just kill it. Shit. Didn't activate Uggle's Blood fast. Not that, you know, that's a big deal. But okay, another disallow. So we do have Forsake the Worldly, but I don't want to let History of Benalia resolve. Thrashing Brontodon. Yep. He cannot activate it, therefore just gonna kill it. Draw a card. Attacking for 8. And we're basically able to counter, you know, everything until we kill him. he did. And next turn we just kill him. 6 cards in hand. 500 more lands than he has. Alright, we're at the same point where I already went the first time I played it standard. But hopefully we can make it to 3 wins here this time around. It's interesting that like I don't recognize any of those standard grinders there. Apparently that differs a lot. Yeah, I mean it's not a great hand, but it's also not the worst. Still need a little bit of support left and right. Search for Skansa hopefully can help us with that. Heart of Kiran, sure. So, okay, we do have a couple of removal spells. We just need to find lands now. Lyra is probably going to be great in the matchup. Steel Leaf, sure. Land? No, not to the graveyard. It's actually pretty good. So I think we're gonna kill Steel Leaf here. Keep fail push up. Yeah, that's not a. Keep fail push up for the Heart of Huron. No clue what they do. Okay, some mana accelerator. Shouldn't he, like, in response... This can't be correct. Shouldn't he go, like, crew it in response to the trigger and then pump the Heart of Kiran? Oh no, it's crew 3. Alright. Yeah, graveyards. I mean, 2/2/2s isn't the worst thing ever. Rusk's Contempt could, of course, just run into a blossoming defense, though. So I'm not 100% sure. Like, let's say they do have 8 for Galta. Man, that I don't know the deck list is just horrible. Like, I don't know what I need to play around. Also because I just don't know the cards in standard. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with Rusk's Contempt here. I'm onto this. Maybe that's wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Rushing Brontodon. Yeah, going after our search for Skansa. Sure. That's still fine. As long as we find one more white source. Nope. I just want to check how many white souls we're playing. 11. And we also do have Field of Ruin, so that's 13. Okay, another of those. Slow white souls. Taking a lot of damage here. Not really comfortable with that. But the last card is either Blossoming Defense or it's Galta. So we're just gonna go with Lyra here. Don't think they can deal with her. So 5, 6, 11. Is that Walking Ballista? Sure. But still can't attack. Alright, so we do have Syncopate. This is 6-5 with crew 3. So we're probably gonna take that thing away. Or try to at least. But if they do have a Blossoming Defense, that'd be a major fuck up, of course. But this way at least we don't run into... no, it's only when it attacks. Alright. So having first strike here is still good. Alright, I assume that he's got Blossoming Defense. Well, maybe not. Now the good thing is our Angel gets pumped and has lifelink as well. And I don't think that we can get blown out here. No. Alright, so in this matchup, we actually need to get a little bit lower to the ground. I think Hostage Shaker is probably a really good card here. One Fumigate, certainly something that we are interested in. And then Forsake the Worldly. Something like that, right? They do play a lot of creatures. Duress. I think Sensor is actually pretty good here, despite of him. Maybe I just want to get down all the glimmers. Syncopate, certainly not as good here. I mean, Rascal's Contempt is good, but it's not really good. Trenchy Gearhulk seems to be a little bit too much to the top end, and Thrashing Brontodon also makes it a little worse. This way we already are at 61 cards. I think with Hostage Taker we actually can cut down to 1, Forsake the Worldly. And that should be okay. Arguel's Blood Fast though. Probably not the right card for this matchup. Okay, it's a keep. Starting with this, then playing the Isolated Chapel next turn, and then going for History of Benalia turn 3. Doomfall as our removal spells. No play, interesting. Threshing. No, Steel Leaf Champion. Alright. Yeah, I'm just cashing in Sensor whenever we can. And this way we get our hands free for History of Benalia. And our saga is legendary, by the way. No, I don't think so. I think we couldn't just stick another one to the board next turn. Play 4-drop or a 3-drop. But he doesn't want to kill our history, which is quite fortunate. So I mean, there's no rush for us, right? The Threshing Brontodon isn't going to cut it here. Just want to have a look at the hand. Oh, they brought in counterspells. Interesting. Territorial Allosaurus. It fights another creature. Okay, it's a 4-drop though. I mean, I don't actually care about any of these. Negate is okay, but I think the Threshing Brontodon is probably the most annoying. Okay, he drew a lance. And now he has to decide on whether or not he wants to commit to the board or have a single counterspell up. We're going to attack. Our tokens also have Vigilance, which is pretty nice, because we can also double block him in case he wants to attack. And then, yeah, we're just going to pass the turn. Because you cannot out counter the control deck, at least not with us. Is Brontodon attacking us? Maybe. If not, we're just gonna go ahead here and end of turn cast down, I think. Nope, he did have another idea. Just doing it for all here because there's nothing, like, we need to tap 2 anyway. There's nothing we can play during that turn. Alright, so Fumigate, of course, but we are the bigger aggressor here right now. Yeah, just playing that here. And of course, I don't think that he will use his Brontodon to kill our history. I mean, he might. Elves doesn't do much. Block a little maybe. Okay, second Doomfall means that. So if we cast down onto the Threshing Brontodon, then he certainly is. We can also just play this here. But then he's. Oh, let's make him negate here. Don't think that he wants to commit this. Just for mana efficient reasons. But not drawing the land here for this long is a serious problem. Alright, so he's just gonna commit. Sure. Next turn he's facing 16 damage on the board if he doesn't do anything, and one of his 2 cards in hand is a negate. And of course, like, just sacrificing Thrashing Brontodon here is also not in the best of plays. There's something big's coming, guys. Something big's coming. Maybe the Skyship Sovereign thing again. No. Okay. So you have 1 mana. And you're passing the turn to us. Just having 1 mana up. Doesn't seem like a winning line here. We're actually pretty unlucky. Like, we drew 7 more cards and we didn't manage to fucking get another land that is untapped. Alright, let's have a look at this hand again. A lot of lands. Land Wells doesn't do anything. This thing also doesn't do anything. Yeah, this is probably the only one that has any sort of impact. Not very impressed by our opponent's deck. We're still at 20 life. I actually thought that, you know, they would be the aggressive deck. So they want to block, but we're gonna make him exile a creature. And then cast down another one. And that should do it. Yep. Alright guys, I'll be right back with the second half of our league. I hope you enjoyed it so far. I had a lot of fun up until now. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, just jumping into round number 4 here. Still feeling sharp. Interestingly, more players are playing Standard right now than they are playing Modern. So it has shifted with the release of Dominaria, especially, like, that has shifted a little. Before, also in Modo, Modern was more popular. So actually, we haven't met a single red deck yet, which we actually designed our deck to beat. Oh, well, I shouldn't take my mouth too full. I have never played against a red deck in my life in Standard, so I don't actually know if we can beat red decks in Standard, but that's what I was thinking about when I was building the deck here. And the thing that makes our deck go, you know, is really the 3 enchantments in all 3 different colors there. Really, really nice. Slow. little top end heavy and light on creatures. And we're facing a basic island. Light on lands, that's what I meant. Alright. So we're again playing blue-white control here. And as I said before, it certainly isn't our best matchup. Pre-board. But I do think that we have a decent shot post-board. So now there's the question of cycling Sensor, and I think I'm just gonna do this. We need lands. We can't find them. Shit. On the draw, having 3 extra draws up until turn 3, not finding a freaking third land, that's insane. That is insane. I'm close to just already give up here. Not give up, but you know, concede the game, because up until now he doesn't know that we're playing white. This is unreal. So we've seen 3 more cards than our opponent has, and apparently we're not able to find anything land related. And our opponent didn't have any additional draws except for this one farmland. And it's all lands. This is... I mean, we're getting countered here for 100%, but what are we gonna do? Like, we're also getting countered if he goes to Teferi, and then... Yeah. Our only hope is that he has a couple of Fumigates in hand, plays Teferi out now. Okay, it doesn't even have Teferi in hand. Maybe there is a chance. Maybe our Glimmer of Geniuses can get us back into the game, but we've lost so much traction already. It's unreal. There's Teferi. Thing is that we cannot even risk his Contempt here. Yeah, I'm gonna play Glimmer of Genius in response. I want to have both of these. Cannot believe that we do not find any freaking counter magic. Lands. Alright, so cast down is irrelevant. Doing Rusk's Contempt on their upkeep is also somewhat irrelevant, so... Of course. Oh no! Have we done it in their turn? Oh my god. So they are playing Torrential. Well, I thought they were no win condition white. But still, like with these things, we can actually play. Like one black source here, and I think that he doesn't have. All right, we're gonna try it again. Actually, let's draw out some counters first. Okay, so apparently there are no more counters right now. And they should have a lot of dead cards. Gideon is not a dead card though. This was stupid. So they could of course have additional Teferis in their hands, and it's even likely that they do have that, but we cannot just let it be in play. Therefore we're trying to do something here. Another disallow. All right. That makes me angry. That makes me angry. Oh no, no, we need to forsake the worldly. All right. A lot of planes. Link of Nye, hieroglyphic illumination. Pull from Tomorrow is not a play they do have available to themselves right now. So I think we're just going to take this here, play that, and pass the turn. So our opponent's already playing with a lot more lands than we are again. And we also, again, don't have any way of getting a white source apparently. Like if we had two white sources here, they would just straight up lose. History of Benalia, even with a blink of an eye, it's just too good here. Okay, one white source. And I know. If he goes untap, okay, and that was still pretty okay. So one more white source here. Come on, man. Okay. So here comes history. Certainly don't have two counter spells, apparently none. Bouncing this with Blink of an Eye, yeah, it's fine, but it's also not great. But bouncing this one with Blink of an Eye is just bad. That was an important win for us. We're gonna follow ours up with another copy here. They would have protected the History of Benalia if they could have. And I expect them to have boarded out most of their also not the best use of cast out. Okay. So we don't exactly know what they do have in their hands. But it's likely that they just drew the second copy of History of Benalia. And just feature a couple more lands. Probably gonna sacrifice this as soon as you can, because he's like really behind on board right now. One more land and we have two disallows up. All right. It's down to 5. I think we're gonna counter this here. That's still fine. All right, cool. So we do need Fossek the Worldly, especially if they are playing History of Benalia as well. Do think that I want to have a third syncopate here on the draw. Actually, probably can reduce the amounts of Doomfalls here more than syncopates. And then put this one here in. Rascal's Contempt is only good against Teferi, right? But if we get rid of Teferi, then that's not a matter anymore. These two are really good. I don't know. I think this way. This way should be even better. We do have Forsake the Worldly in order to cycle. Our opponent kept Snap Cap there. Probably gonna mulligan. Yeah, Forsake the Worldly is now a little bit too expensive here. That's not good. That's not good. But on the upside, he only has negates to counter Forsake the Worldly. So are we gonna risk it here? Could also just go with Doomfall. Alright. History. Yeah, this was the worst possible outcome, but I mean, other than that, only bad cards. Not the negate though. And again, we're stuck on fucking mana. Come on, man. What time? This can't be real. This cannot be fucking real. Motherfucker. Unbelievable. Yeah, it was so obvious. So obvious. This is not. It's really not fair. This is not fair. Yeah. It's not the best card here. This was not fair. All right, after playing, oh, I was just sorting my cards there. Hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Search. Sure. As always. Otherwise, we could have just covered it here, but I was like, in the tank, doing what I do. Getting down history of Benalia is still a good thing. And now we're I think we're just gonna Doomfall here. Have a look at what's going on. If possible, protect our knights. Well, let's think about it first. There's only Glimmer. They always have disallow. Always. On the upside, though, we can probably get our other history of Benalia down. Maybe even our third. Do you have another one, man? Another disallow? Nope, Glimmer of Genius. Syncopate. And here it's actually relevant that he overextended. Cannot pay for the history. But the way he played it, it's also very likely that he does already have a Fumigate or Cell Direction in hand. Maybe he just needs the additional white mana. Very interesting. So the question is, are we gonna attack Teferi here? Or are we just gonna ignore him? course, it feels like we should just attack him and ignore Teferi. But if he does have a Fumigate, that could also just bite us. But he didn't have a land drop last turn, right? Hasn't scattered. He was thinking about that. Very interesting. So he does need another white source, otherwise, no matter what he does, just going with blue here. So it's double white. But what is double white good for without an additional mana source? I mean, he can oh, sure. Okay, so he does have Cell Wreckage. Just gonna all attacking creatures. So no matter if we attack three, four. Let's see. So 2 seal aways, 3 seal aways. Goes 4. Cannot deploy our History of Benalia anyway. Oh no, Seal Aways only goes for tapped creatures, right? Yeah, I should have. I think they only play 1 negate. Alright, that was important. Like winning game 1 here. Already very, very important. Dress. Forsake the Worldly. Cast down, out. Syncopate. And Lyra. Probably Sanser as well. Alright. So I don't know. Lyra is of course great against super aggressive decks, but it's possible that actually Teferi, like Lyra should be Teferi here. Doesn't seem like we need Fumigate in our sideboard and Hostage Shaker. So I think in future games I'm gonna switch these two for Teferi, make Fumigate a Lyra, and then go with two cast outs instead of the Hostage Takers. I think that is more synergetic with our overall game plan. All right. So we're hoping that this time he doesn't. Well, I think our white land sources are a little bit light. Again, interesting. That doesn't do like add anything. I don't think we have a single card that, well, Surge maybe, but other than that, let's see what he names here. Scavenger Grounds. Sure. All right, so we're gonna start here. Start things off with a duress. We're up a little on resources, which is good because this was basically a waste of, cards, syncopates. Yeah, let's syncopate that. That's interesting. So opponent's still ways off of like anything in his hands. Does this come into play tap? No. And then he has two Torrential Gales and a Lyra. I mean, we boarded out Fatal Pushes and Cast Downs, but we still have Doomfall, and that doubles down. As sure. We need to double whites. For History of Benalia. Opponent knows that, of course. The thing is, you can Lyra next turn. And I, of course, don't want him to do that. Just because, of tempo disadvantages. he comes around with a Teferi here, that would be super unlucky for us, but other than that, we can just snatch off a Gearhulk here. And then maybe find a Vraska's Contempt or something to deal with the other one. He also doesn't have the requirements in terms of mana yet. And him and us both. Okay. That's good. Now it's very unlikely that he will ever get his Gearhulk through. There's no reason for us to play the Gearhulk without having any, like they have Settle the Wreckage in hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, certainly not. Now they do have a good target for the Gearhulk in the graveyard. And I hope that they are just, you know, being greedy and trying to snatch it off. As people are, you know. Well, Invoke Divine also kills our Torrential Gearhulk, so if we are going to sacrifice it at some point, then we most likely want to do it for at least a land. Another Field of Ruin. Alright, Irrigated Farmlands. We don't have enough mana yet to do something with it and be able to cast our Torrential Gearhulk. Now we also have Glimmer of Genius, right? Let's just wait and see. This is actually a really good card. Maybe we should do something about it. Alright, there we go. History of Benalia. Sacrificing Memorial. Yep. Of course, that gives him a little bit of card advantage here, but it's not really relevant. I would just like to there we go. Teferi. Was it Fumigate? Nope, it's Teferi. Alright, so he's gonna untap two things, probably Fumigate us, We're gonna split our troops and then play a Trencher Gearhulk. When he settles. Yep. This way. Then everything gets pumped. We could also just get in for 12, but I do think this game's still about card advantage, and therefore we're gonna do it this way. Of course, this is a pretty confident play of us, right? We know that he has Cellular Wreckage in hand, and we're still attacking with like 3 at our disposal and attacking him and stuff. But what's he gonna do? Just, I mean, if he lets it resolve, I'm fine with that as well. Then I would just cast Doomfall post-board. And definitely want to have this like Glimmer to Genius, Memorial to Genius. It's really a good card. Probably instead of this Scavenger Grounds. It's really not such a good card. So I cannot imagine that they still have Fumigates in their deck. It's possible, but I really can't imagine that. Cast out. Alright, so he actually wants to protect his Teferi here. But I think, like, if he values Cellular Wreckage higher, we can actually play around Cellular Wreckage pretty comfortably. And therefore, I think this is a huge win for us. Of course, Fumigate is a blowout. But other than that, nothing really is. Okay, let's see. Needs to have a counter spell or 2 Cellular Wreckages here. Or to survive. He does. Alright, let's see. 1, 2. It's 2 enough for him to pull the trigger on Cellular Wreckage. Three certainly is enough. Now let's just attack with 2. He's not playing any more lands, apparently. So whatever he does have in hand. Must be something that's worth it. Sadly, we haven't drawn any card advantage spells yet. Whereas he only drew card advantage spells. Syncopate, yeah, Seal Away. So this is what I was playing around, the Seal Away. That's why I didn't want to attack with the Gearhawk before. But he left in a couple of really weird, really awkward, you know, cards. Also, they are playing 2 more lands than we do, and we've gotten, you know, way more lands than they do. So we should be top decking better. Should be. You know. Ah, come on. Then he top takes a Teferi. And he has a Syncopate in hand. Alright. Oh, this dude. This dude. Like if he gets back into this game just through Search for Scanta, like I'm really losing my shit here. This is, yeah, he wants to get rid of our Torrential Gearhawk, and I don't even mind, like I don't want Torrential Gearhawk right now. We don't have great stuff to search up. He doesn't know about our Field of Ruin though, so it's just one Search for Scanta activation. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Please don't tell me. Hopefully he doesn't find disallow. No fucking way. What a fucking shit game. Unbelievable. Hey, is this a fucking joke? What draws? What draws on these? What the fuck? That was our first Glimmer of Genius. We still are playing Search, Arguel's Bloodfast, 2 other Glimmers, you know, all the crazy stuff. What did he reveal, by the way? Another disallow. He boarded so bad. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. 1, 7, 5. Yeah, we can pay for it. But he does have disallow, right? Disallows. We're not gonna embalm here because you can syncopate it. Rather wait for dress or something like that. Yeah, guys, like this is unreal. We outplayed our opponent left, right, and from behind. Yeah, Blink of Might now is of course really good against the Angel. All right, let's see. 1, 2. So these are 8. Yeah, we can play it. Now we're gonna get back on core advantage, man. Now we're gonna get back. No fucking way! No fucking way! He naturally drew a fucking negate. This is... We can't wait at that spot, of course, because it was like... There was no search for counter. This is unreal. Yeah, but if the fairy is his last win condition, then good luck, man. They do have Blink of My, which is annoying, of course, but... Oh man, we outplayed them so hard all game long. Just... Also really bad that he doesn't just use search for Scanta and then untap it again. But and I think we drew our last land here. No, there's 2 more lands, I think. 2 more lands in our deck. This is unreal. We just keep drawing bad cards. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we're attacking for 4. Do you have something? Another Shallow Wreckage. Sensor. No Torrential Gearhulk. But he can syncopate it. 3. By now he is way more than enough. I don't think there's gonna be a moment where we can flash in this the Torrential Gearhulk anymore. That also was his third Cellar Wreckage. The Memorial of Genius. Yeah, we need to find the dress first before we can go with our Gearhulk. There's dress. Of course, they do have negates. Oh, maybe we should have played the angel here. We still have an angel in our graveyard. So the emblem triggers whenever he draws a card, and that will still, take plenty of time. We have a couple of things here. We can still win. Get rid of the Teferi, yep. Play another Teferi. Sure. I think he also still has one blink of the eye in his hand. Okay, they did they errata this? Anywho. All right, that's the syncopate. Now maybe they do not have, I mean they do have Memorial's Genius. We still have one History of Benalia in our deck. Fetid Pools. Okay, let's see. Negate here, and well, that's a History of Benalia. I think I'm gonna go upkeep Torrential Gearhulk. Look if that resolves. We still should have like two to three turns. interesting. Gearhawk resolves. Can't imagine that this resolves as well. Okay. Doesn't even draw a card for it. Oh. Sure, I mean that it, you know. But I'm like, if we have the option of letting him time out here, I'm definitely gonna let him time out. Like, I don't give a fuck. Don't know if we still have Ruska's Contempt left. We most certainly do have a Torrential Gearhawk left. So upkeep, we're doing the same thing. Because there's still Ruska's Contempt in our graveyard. Yeah, actually, like, I think that upkeep is not the correct line here because of the exile effect. So we should probably do it by the end of turn, not in the upkeep. You can just draw a card, exile the... Oh, well, I mean, sure, he can do that at instant speed most of the time, but... Okay. So the thing is that he needs to put it on top of his library all the time, right? With his own ability. So if he can't counter this, then he just loses. Because he drew so many cards. And this doesn't look like he would have a counterspell. Or he's playing around a counterspell in our hand, but... Usually they play 4 Teferis, but it's also very possible that they only have 3 now. One's in exile. No, that's the 4th. After this Teferi, they don't have any anymore. So let's see. And our opponent's thinking about it here, which takes him on a lot more time, of course. And so either he finds a counterspell here. All right, he gave up. We still won this, motherfucker. All right, guys. So second standard league ever that we played. Was a pretty successful one, I was gonna say. Almost 5-0 the league. Just as successful as our modern leagues. So yeah, pretty happy with that. As I said, like, I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple of changes, and then let me know if you like it that I play standard in between, or just switching up the decks, that you receive some new content. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and let me know.